the grid for Earl Bamber for the first race of the weekend for the Toyota Racing Series from Manfeild, and it is the Dan Higgins Memorial. So more on that shortly. Daniel Kievat starts off the pole for race 1 alongside championship leader Mitch Evans. Nick Cassidy from row 2 alongside Australian Scott Pye. Then we go back to Invercargill's Damon Leach and Englishman Josh Hill. Mario Farnbacher and Nick Foster start alongside each other on row number 4. Row 5 start for Jamie McNee and Ivan Lukashevich. It's a row 6 start for Englishman Alex Lynn and Earl Bamber, but it looks to be a gap for there with Bamber having some problems. Alistair Wooten and Jordan Skinner from row number 7, and completing the lineup, Kotaro Sakurai and the Kenny Smith making his return to the Toyota Racing Series. So problems on the grid, Bob McMurray for Earl Bamber, but Kenny Smith back in Toyotas.
And welcome back in Toyotas as well, Jamie. He's a great supporter of the Toyota Racing Series, and Kenny, or he may not be as quick as he used to be in one of these cars, but Kenny is still quick. He can hold his head up high in these cars, and this is his first race this year. And there we see Earl Bamber, who was coming back for this meeting, being pushed away with his shaking head. He's had some problems in qualifying. We don't know exactly what they were, but obviously they haven't been cured yet.
On board with Mitchell Evans starting alongside Daniel Kievat, who is carrying our other onboard cameras. So we've got 2 onboard cameras off the front row. Mitch Evans, the championship leader, and this is the 4th and final round of the International Series 2, Bob.
And this is for the Dan Higgins Trophy as well, so this is a very important race as well.
So the Russian off the pole, the championship leader from 2, Nick Cassidy. Could he be the spoiler from the second row? 20 laps, the Dan Higgins Memorial Trophy for 2011. Waiting for the lights to go out. It's a pretty long hold. Track clear in the back of the lineup. No Earl Bamber on the grid as Nick Cassidy stalls. Kievat got a fantastic start in the Red Bull car. He's got the inside run on Mitch Evans down into turn 1.
And I noticed also on the grid, Jamie, there was an empty space there where McNee should be. So McNee has obviously had a problem before the race, but Cassidy was very lucky not to get hit by the following cars there.
Well, Kievat has got the jump off the pole. There's Cassidy getting push started off the grid on the front straight here at Manfeild. The young Russian out to the front. Mitch Evans second. Josh Hill up into the 4th position and behind Scott Pye.
Josh Hill has gone very well since he's been here at Manfeild. There was testing on Thursday and Friday, and he did very well indeed in those races and was very quick. And he's equally quick in this race. Kvyat is fantastic.
Oh, we've got big issues. There was a big brake lock up there. There were some birds on the racetrack there. It sounds like we've got a safety car out because the field is slowing. The peak antifreeze replay.
Oh,
Kvyat swerved to avoid what looks to be seagulls on the racetrack.
They were just having a fly past, and the Russian Kvyat must have caught them out of the corner of his eye and just swerved. That bit unfortunate for him, but if it is a safety car, fine. I'm not sure that I've seen the safety car board yet.
Certainly this field has slowed, and obviously for Daniel, those birds were a lot closer than what we could see on the TV monitors, because he took pretty drastic action.
Look at Lynn and Leach still having a go with each other.
Yeah, down through the S's.
Oh,
good close racing. Good close racing, though.
Damon Leach is another driver that's come good this weekend. He's very quick. In fact, there he goes on the inside. You don't normally do that, Jamie. You don't normally do that, but he's done it.
That's a big pass into the hairpin. So the Dan Higgins Memorial Trophy race 1 from Manfeild for the Toyota Racing Series 4th and final round of the International Series. Leach and Lynn continue.
Oh, look, that just touched. Did you see Leach's front wing there? Just rattled a little bit. He must have just caught the back wheel.
The left front end plate definitely with a big vibration there. So contact between the young driver from Invercargill and the young Englishman. Now, we've got a problem further back. That's
Sakurai.
Sakurai in one of the M2 competition team cars.
He's got it going, but looking at the gravel behind there, he's obviously been off the track and brought it back on again. He's had an exciting couple of days.
Here's the peak antifreeze replay. It was off the exit of the hairpin.
Complete 360, nicely handled. Parked back on the track. Let's go. Thank you.
Shelley's continuing to struggle around with that damaged right front corner.
Yeah, that's not going to do him any good now. That really is going to slow him down. Josh, the best thing you can do now, my friend, is pull in and get something done about that. That's either going to fly off. He might even be black flag. They may even decide that's a dangerous car to go around the track with. Wow.
Oh, the Russian. Now he's signalling to the flag marshals for flags for Earl Bamber, who is ahead of him, and he seems to think that maybe it's costing him time. And I think Evans has closed the gap. In fact, he's taken 4 tenths 4/10 out of the race lead. Kvyat running wide off the exit of Dunlop. Oh, that was a big moment.
I don't think that's anything to do with flags. I think that's something to do with driving off the track. But he's obviously waving, I guess, at the marshals to get the blue flags waved at Bamber. So Bamber is well aware of him being there so he can get out of the way.
Well, Mitch Evans is definitely charging. He took 4/10 of a second out of the Russian.
Well, Bamber's pulling across to the side of the track a little bit now, giving Kvyat the look through to the corner, but Kvyat's not close enough yet to do that.
So Scott Pye also closing in as we're back on board with the race leader. Lap traffic up ahead. Bamber does the right thing and pulls to the inside.
Daniel, I don't think that's necessary. He was never close to you, so don't get on things like that, man.
Well, it's at this stage you're really got to keep your mind on the job, because he's got certainly one of the up-and-coming motor racers in the world chasing him down, looking for victory.
And it's always better to drive a car with one hand and signal with the other, I guess. Is that right? No, I think you should have two hands on the wheel, concentrate on your own job. You're doing a good job at the moment. Not like that. The back end of the car just got away from him a little bit. He's unsettled himself now. He's made himself a little bit angry, I think. That's not good.
He lost another 3/10 to Mitch Evans on that last lap. The gap down to just 0.9 of a second. So Mitch Evans reeling in the young Russian. He's just a little bit hot under the collar at the moment. Needs to just settle back down. They need to be on the radio to him, his team, Victory Motorsport team, and just, Daniel, settle down, get on with the job.
We saw a little photograph of Mitch Evans in the corner there with a smile on his face, and I think that's exactly what he'd have under his helmet at the moment. He's having a smile at Daniel being a little bit unsettled in front of him, and I think he's expecting to gain from that very soon.
Well, of course, the big one that everyone wants this weekend is the New Zealand Grand Prix, brought to you by the Lexus F Sport. That's the one that Mitch Evans wants, but I'm sure he'll be aware that from a championship point of view, he's looking to extend here with the problems to the likes of Nick Cassidy. Mind you, Scott Pye's in third behind him, but it's still going to be a gain for Mitch Evans.
It will be. And many of these drivers, including Mitch Evans, are going overseas next week or in the coming weeks and starting their career. What more do you need to go overseas with than the New Zealand Grand Prix trophy?
Yeah, Evans has just taken another 4/10 out of the race lead. The lead is down to just half a second. It is definitely closing as the young Kiwi thinking about maybe mounting a challenge. Down through Splash, you've got to commit into the S's. You've got to keep the flow going on the run up to the hairpin. Wonderful sequence of corners.
It's a wonderful track for these cars as well. Fast and flowing, good long corners, predominantly right-hand corners, so the tyres on the left-hand side of the car are going to get worn more than the others.
So inside of the finish here, race one for the Toyota Racing Series from Manfeild, the Dan Higgins Memorial Trophy. Daniel Kvyat leads from Evans, Pye, Farnbacher, Foster and Lukasiewicz as we watch the battle here for the fourth position between the young German and the young Australian.
I can see Nick Foster shaping up for a bit of a lunge on the inside here going into Toyota, or maybe at the end of the back straight.
64.1s, just about identical lap times for Kvyat and Evans with 2 to go. Scott Pye's just done his fastest lap at a 64.08. It's good speed at the end of a long race.
Saving the best for last.
So he'll be mindful about the championship as well. The championship equation will be going through all of these drivers' heads and the engineers with the various teams. Nick Foster running out of Giles Motorsport. Like Mitch Evans, Alex Lynn and Nick Cassidy. So Cassidy's dropped back to 11th.
That's going to hurt Cassidy in the points royally, I think. Mitch Evans, all he really has to do is win a race, and I think the championship is going to be in his pocket. He's got a very good points lead. Just to win the race would be good, but he knows that, you know, he's building up to the not only the championship but this New Zealand Grand Prix title.
So the last lap board is out. Again, Kvyat running very wide into turn number 1, gives Mitchell Evans just a little sniff of anticipation. Last lap, 64.18 for Kvyat. Evans sets his fastest lap of the race at a 64.094.
0.5 of a second between them at the line, and it looks like maybe Mitch has just caught up a little bit more. Is he going to have a go? Do you think he will?
Well, Scott Pye made a big gain, 0.3 in that last lap, and he did a 64.098, just 4/1000ths of a difference between Evans and Pye's fastest lap times, and 6/100ths of a second, the difference between Kvyat and Evans. It is so incredibly close.
It is close, and it looks also like Daniel Kvyat has actually settled down a little bit from his maybe wild few laps earlier on. Car looked a little bit more settled going into the corners.
Yeah, well, the victory team would have got on the radio and calmed the young Russian down. He's going to take his first race win of the series to the line. Kvyat takes out the Dan Higgins Memorial Trophy. Mitch Evans, the championship leader in second, extends his championship lead, and that victory celebration was very Schumacher-esque.
Perhaps he's learned from the master.
So the young Russian taking victory here, the 20-lap opener at Manfeild for the Toyota Racing Series from Mitch Evans, Scott Pine third, Mario Farnbacher in fourth ahead of Nick Foster, Ivan Lukashevich completing the top 10, Alistair Wooten, Damon Leach, Alex Lynn and Australian Jordan Skinner.
Daniel, congratulations. A hard drive.
Very hard drive, yeah, because Earl Bamber, I don't know who was this, really not sportive. He did a really silly thing because he wasn't letting me pass, and I almost lost the race because of his fault.
Mitch kept the pressure on you.
Yeah, he kept. The pressure. I already forgot what the pressure is in the first half of the race because I was pulling away a lot, and then honestly in the last lap I had enough gap to be calm.
You had a moment coming out of the last corner.
Yeah, very tough one. Yeah, there I was really scared because I began to lose the downforce behind the other car, the laps, Earl Bamber. So yeah, it was really dangerous in that moment. Yeah.
Daniel's car was, very similar to ours, and we're doing very similar lap times, so it was very hard to catch him. But I made a small mistake coming onto the front straight, which let him get by, and it was just too even to catch him. And then he made a mistake, which kind of closed it up, and it was just there. That was the rest of the race basically. So we got a little bit of improvement to make with the car, but yeah, we're pretty happy. I'm not sure what the points are like for the International Series, but I think we're getting pretty close to taking that out as well. So we'll just keep pushing on and see what tomorrow brings.